Any questions, just leave your hands up for a second. Coach,
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
Yep, highly disappointed in the way that we played the game the other day. I thought in the midst of adversity, we played hesitant, which is not the identity of this defense. I think we've got a group of young men that take a lot of pride in the way they play, the effort that they play with, and I thought we played too much on our heels on the road with adversity. As a coaching staff, we have to do a better job on the road of creating a sideline environment to make sure our guys are ready to go respond. That starts with me and our coaches, and making sure that our players know how to respond in the moment of adversity. But I've got great confidence in our players. I think the level of ownership that I've seen from our guys has been really strong the last 48 hours here, and I think we're ready to go put a product on the field on Saturday that our fans, this university can be very proud of, and so looking forward to doing that this week.
Thanks, Coach. Starting with far right with Nick.
Yeah, the lack of physicality that popped up a few times, how will that be addressed moving forward?
I think you know, sometimes you know, one of our keys to victory, right, was that when you're playing a team that moves laterally in the 1+ quarterback system, there has to be elements of being patient to let the ball declare. But once the ball declares, one of our keys to victory was to finish with violence and aggressiveness on the ball. And I thought we let some of the things that they did put us on our heels, and we didn't respond well enough when adversity hit. And so those things, you know, you can tell them, sometimes you have to be shown. And I think once our players were shown, I think they're ready to respond.
Far left, Chase.
FSU was able to get a lot of running yards on the perimeter outside. When it comes to that, is the issue more about the force defender not getting contained, or is it more about the help being late, or something else?
Yeah, ours was, they were leveraging issues in terms of our guys, like being decisive and getting off of blocks. I thought we were timid on getting off of blocks, and so we allowed people to get the edge on us too often. And that's something that I thought our block destruction's been something that we have really emphasized and done a good job in the off season, and that wasn't nearly the standard. So really excited to get that fixed this week.
Far right, Charlie.
Kind of going back to what Nick was talking about, what did you think of the effort that you saw, especially from the linebackers making safety here?
I thought we played timid. I thought we let adversity put us on our heels, and we played hesitant at times because of that. And that was, I think, striking for all of us because that's not the identity of our defense. It's never been who we are. That's not who these players are. And I think they are very much looking forward to showing that next Saturday.
Let's go in the middle on the left side there.
I counted 23 players who took snaps on defense in that game. Can you just talk me through the process of that many guys rotating in on a close game?
Yeah, I think you know, there's going to be moments. We did have some bangs and bruises, right? But we did have some guys that we felt like had earned an opportunity to go out there on the field. Game one, you want to make sure you give people opportunities to do that, and then based off of the body of work and what they do on the field on game day, you know, will reflect some of the rep base that you see moving forward. You know, I don't think you have to make big sweeping changes. There was enough blame to go around, even from some of our best players, and so you want to give people an opportunity to get things corrected. But certainly the body of work on the field will dictate rep base moving forward in the season.
Front row, Kenny.
It's kind of a multi-part question. Last week, there was a lot of conversation about the newness of Florida State, new coordinator, new personnel. When you went back and watched how much of what they didn't show up on film in your preparation, how did the defense respond in those moments, and then kind of how do you build on that as the season goes on?
No, we were not surprised by anything. We were prepared for a number of things that they were doing, including some of the trick plays and a number of their run game things. We did not play to the level that we are capable of as a defense, and so we've got to own that as a coaching staff. We got to own that as players, which I think we are. But I have great confidence in our guys that they will get that corrected. and quickly.
Go to Katie on the left side here.
They only dropped back to pass 14 times, but or I guess they probably dropped back more than that. He ran some, but what does the defensive line need to do to generate more pressure?
Well, I think, I think there's times when, in the second half, I tried to call more pressure to generate a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. We were able to do that a little bit more effective. But one time on a third down, we had a free runner. We let the quarterback out of the pocket, and then we had a late hit out of bounds as he was going out on a critical 3rd and 5 where we had a chance to get off the field. And then another time we were getting ready, we had put ourselves in position to get them to a 3rd and 11, and then we had a late hit on the quarterback as well. And so you want to affect the quarterback, but you have to know when, and you got to have the maturity and understanding of when to do that and when not to do that. And I think both those guys took ownership of it, and I think they'll get those things corrected moving forward. But certainly from a pressure standpoint, that's something that I've got to make sure that we can affect quarterbacks better than what we did Saturday.
Colin, front left.
Sort of in the same vein, it seems like mobile quarterbacks have kind of affected your defense, dating back to last year a little bit too. But kind of what's the plan moving forward in terms of, I guess, containing when they get outside to kind of contain their ability to scramble, to rush, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think there's a pattern right now of when teams are moving laterally in the 1+ quarterback system. We saw it against Vanderbilt last year. We saw it in the first half against Oklahoma, and then it showed up this week. I thought, those are things that you have to look at, and you got to go, okay, we had a good week of preparation, but we weren't able to execute well enough on game day. So now schematically, what do I need to do to make sure I give our players the best chance to be successful based upon the body of work that we've put on the field? And so we're looking to address those issues.
Back right, Matt.
Do you think all the issues are fixable, or is some of it just weaknesses you'll have to deal with at this point?
Yeah, 100%. Those things will get fixed, and look forward to seeing our guys do it on Saturday.
Go right next to Matt. Let's go to Blake right here. You good? Okay, let's go to the left side. Let's go to EG right here in the front.
Coach, what would you attribute that hesitancy to? Is it schematically, fundamentally, and how do you make sure that doesn't happen again when more adversity is faced?
Well, I think again that goes into the pattern of us on the road as a football team. I think about the two games and a half that we defensively have played timid and on our heels, and those are situations where on the road we've got to make sure that we protect our sideline. I talk about all the time. The sideline is a living, breathing organism that you've got to make sure you're doing your job to feed that the right way. And so, even as a coaching staff, we got to make sure that we're challenging ourselves. There's so many things now with the iPads that you're making checks and adjustments and corrections, but let's make sure that we're also keep the main thing as a coaching staff, right? That we are making sure our players are ready to physically, mentally go out on the field and go play in an attacking mindset. And that's something that we didn't do a good enough job as a coaching staff.
We've got 2 more questions. Let's start with Hunter for our left side.
You mentioned there was a strong level of ownership over the last 48 hours. Who specifically on the defense has kind of led that charge, besides maybe like Deontay or Keenan?
Every player on our defense right now.
Go finish up with Mike on the back rows.
On the topic of the effort, just how much are you evaluating that within the game, and would there be a scenario where if you saw a guy not going full speed that you would take him out of the game? And then along those same lines, just for guys coming back from injury like D-Law and Sav, how much is that affecting their ability to go full speed?
Yeah, I think some of those things, we have guys that play with great effort, they play with great enthusiasm and energy, and that did not show up on Saturday. But I'm not going to, we're gonna allow our players to get it fixed. And so certainly there was enough blame to go around. You can point to every position on the field, right, that had issues in terms of not executing the level they're capable of and not playing with the passion and energy and effort that we have established here as a defense already. And so those are things that we're gonna allow guys to get fixed, but certainly a body of work as you look into the season, right? A rep base is gonna be, based upon what you do on the field from an execution standpoint. But I don't think there's a guy on our defense that doesn't take ownership of what happened. That starts with me, it ends with our players. And I think everybody's ready to to go establish that in the defense that we're capable of playing moving forward on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.